Disney and Lucasfilm are currently focused on the future of the Star Wars franchise by looking at Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, their new Star Wars trilogy, as well as Star Wars The Mandalorian and other live-action TV series, in order to expand the Star Wars franchise. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about the Star Wars franchise is that we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are using The Rise of Skywalker as a foundation to introduce new elements of Star Wars lore that's going to eventually be expanded on in the forms of comics, books, novels, video games, and even animated TV series, and a whole lot more coming our way throughout the 2020s, which is really exciting to be quite honest. Now, what's really great about Star Wars as a whole is that we do know that San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner. That starts on, of course, July 18th, just a couple of days from now. And what's really exciting about all of this is that we do know that there are going to be a lot of new reveals related to Star Wars in its entirety. Now, what's really exciting about all of this is that there's actual plans by Disney and Lucasfilm for early 2020 to introduce Darth Vader's new Apprentice in one of the upcoming comic book lines that's going to feature Darth Vader and his new apprentice that is said to be the canon version of Galen Marek. Now, is it going to literally be the actual Galen Marek from the video games Star Wars The Force Unleashed, or is it going to be just a new apprentice that is going to be the equivalent of that character? That's a big question open on the table for discussion. Nonetheless, a brand new apprentice by Darth Vader will be introduced in early 2020, and Disney and Lucasfilm are in negotiations of teasing and or demonstrating of what's coming our way in early 2020 for Darth Vader's new apprentice over at San Diego Comic-Con. Again, like I say, over at Comic-Con we will be learning a whole lot more about the Star Wars related books, novels, comics, etc. Now, in case you guys have no idea who Galen Marek really is, he's a character that was eventually a clone in many of the video games, such as Star Wars The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2. Great games, by the way. You know, it's a very iconic set of Star Wars projects back, of course, many years ago before Disney took over Lucasfilm. And what I like about this is that they are trying their very best in order to cherry pick from what is now the expanded universe / Legends material in order to make up for what was lost. So far in canon, you know, we don't really have a apprentice, quote-unquote, by Darth Vader that is the equivalent of Galen Marek. That's actually all going to be changed in early 2020 in one of the new Darth Vader comic lines that's going to introduce Darth Vader's new apprentice that is said to be just as powerful as Galen Marek. Now, what's great about San Diego Comic-Con is that not only will we be learning a whole lot more about Darth Vader, we're also going to be learning about a new Kylo Ren book that's going to feature exactly what happened to Kylo Ren well before the events of The Force Awakens. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really interested in that type of lore and that type of, I guess you could say, Star Wars stories, where it explores the character of Darth Vader and explores the character of Kylo Ren and where they've been, you know, before the events of The Force Awakens for Kylo Ren and for Darth Vader after the events of Order 66. So this character, we're not quite sure exactly what his name is going to be, other than the fact that he will be equivalent to Galen Marek, and it's going to be teased. At least Disney and Lucasfilm are actually negotiating on teasing this new comic line and releasing it at San Diego Comic-Con and giving us pretty much an idea of where things are going to go in early 2020 once this actual comic line drops. I don't know about you, but in late 2018, the Darth Vader comics were perfect. They were amazing. And it all ended with the spiritual realm and, you know, Vader's attempt to revive Padme Amidala back from the dead, doing all these different and crazy wild things that we have never seen before in the Star Wars franchise. That's really going to expand Vader's life and what really happened in between the events of Order 66 and, of course, you know, leading all the way up until the original trilogy. There's so much to tell, decades worth of content to fill in for the character of Vader that Disney and Lucasfilm are actually looking to create throughout the 2020s in the forms of books, novels, comics, etc. And in my point of view, this is a healthy thing for the Star Wars franchise. This is a great thing, and that's one of the great things about San Diego Comic-Con this year, is that we're going to be learning more and more about where things are going in the future. And Darth Vader's new apprentice, you know, I cannot say this enough. I cannot wait to see exactly what he's going to look like, exactly what his name is going to be, what kind of lightsaber he's going to have, since he will be the equivalent of Galen Marek from the Star Wars The Force Unleashed video games. So I would love to hear what each and every one of you had to say about this. You know, what did you think about Galen in the original video games, you know, a couple of years ago, way back actually, before Disney took over Lucasfilm? And, you know, what are your wishes for this new apprentice of Darth Vader that's going to be unveiled, you know, quite possibly at San Diego Comic-Con, but most certainly in early 2020 is when we will find out exactly who this new apprentice is going to be. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.